Welcome, everybody, to a special remote edition of the Eric Squared Circle podcast, coming to you from the Rona Penitentiary. I am Eric Robinson. I'm joined by some other guy I know. His name's also Eric. Eric Ozio. How you doing, my friend?
Ozio. Mine's Eric. It's more of the
Eric.
Make sure you accentuate
You probably
that.
wish yours was spelled with a K.
No, God, no. K's are
you say
evil. You watch yourself. Watch your back with those Erics with a K. Especially CK. I don't even know.
All Erics matter, but the ones with the C's are pretty cool.
No, they're the most influential, most innovative, and important Erics we've known in our time.
Cream of the crop always rises to the top. Who said it best?
It's the macho man. It's the
yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I can't do a good macho. Sorry.
Anyway, how's that hashtag quarantine life, buddy?
My washer doesn't work, so I have to.
That's a hot girl bummer.
I have to get a new washer. I just got it yesterday, and we'd set it up, and it was no, I got it 2 days ago. Set it up. It's already leaking, so gonna get my money back.
What'd you do to it, man? Come on.
I didn't do anything to it. My buddy came and helped me set it up, but it was leaking when we did a test run, so got to get a new one. But that's okay.
That's unfortunate.
Just a list of things that I need to do for this new headquarters that I'm in. El Casa de Ozio, I like to call it. I'm here in my office speaking with Mr. Robinson. This is another edition of the Eric Square Circle podcast. We want to come to you remotely today. Again, there really isn't weekend days to me anymore. Every day is the same until this is done. I've been in home since last week. I think it's time.
Yeah, you've been off. You've been up, or at least at home anyway, longer than I have. I've really only been doing this since the Thursday, pretty much, and this is kind of day 4 of my quarantine, and yeah, it's interesting.
I went to the grocery store on Wednesday, and then I've been to my mom's, but other than that, I get some food carried out here and there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I continue to do that. Support any restaurant that's allowing you to do takeout, delivery. Please support them. Yeah, that's one thing about Cincinnati right now that just feels so weird, is that everything is carry out and delivery. A lot of the bars are closed. I mean, every bar is closed now at this point. We're just going to start to see more and more people impacted by this. So, yeah, just to everybody that's out there that's listening to this, be kind. I mean, help people where you can. Respect space, wash your hands, all that good stuff. I mean, these are just bizarre times right now. But it's nice to see people, trying to help and putting smiles to people's faces and trying to use technology and social media to keep people entertained. And I've definitely never had so much free time on my hands.
It gives us more of an opportunity to bring to you the 24th episode of the Eric Square Circle podcast.
You'd think that we would have more by now, though. It feels like we've been doing this forever, but
it doesn't feel like forever to me. I mean, sometimes with days at work feel like
it
forever.
does. I mean, over a year. It's been pretty fun to do this with you, and I think that we definitely got spoiled by being at 3 points, and now here we are back in our respective homes,
we'll be back.
Trying not to go
stir
stir
I want
crazy.
Some beers when I go in
right.
Saturday morning, and it'll be nice. Maybe the next time we go in, it won't be so chilly. Just go in. Just let them.
Dude, I'm telling you,
bring in the
2020. Belts. I mean, we've tried unplugging it and plugging it back in. Maybe we just need to blow on the cartridge and put it back in. But I don't know. It's been a weird year, man. The Rona, Kobe, Tom Brady's a Buccaneer. I mean, these are all things that just it's insane. It's insane. Bizarre is probably the better word to sum it up as far as everything that
Tom Brady
has gone
pirate.
on.
He's a pirate.
Especially over the last few weeks.
He's a pirate now.
Buccaneer, but
they're pirates. They're pirates.
Are they the same thing?
You knew he just wanted to get out of
Yes or no?
Say again?
Are those the same thing, Pirates and Buccaneers?
I think they are, yes.
I'd like the receipts, please.
The receipts?
Yeah.
What receipts?
Prove it.
What? I don't know. How would receipts prove that?
Come on, buddy.
It's over my head.
Really?
You're over my head.
Never heard that phrase before? Receipts?
Now I've lost my train of thought because of your receipt joke.
You know, that would have popped in some other circles. Okay, I don't really care. It's fine. It's cool. But yeah, I mean, what a time to be alive, huh?
I'm alive. I'll just say that. Yes. And what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, here it is. Thank you. I really appreciate getting this. Being able to get this. You just wanted to leave the AFC because he didn't want to have to deal with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. You don't want to deal with that anymore. So he's getting out of the AFC. So he has a guaranteed shot at the game at the end of the year that we try not to say.
I love the optimism. You can just call it the big game. Everybody else
big
does.
Game. It's the big game.
Yeah.
So yeah, when they'll be seeing Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati
happens
Bengals.
to be hosted in Tampa next year, by the way, in case you didn't know that.
Home game for Tom Brady. Bengals are going to come in. It's going to be Tampa Bay Buccaneers or Cincinnati Bengals in the big game. Watch it happen. Calling it now.
Okay. Sure.
Imagine how crazy that would be.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We don't know when we're going to get sports again. But we are going to get wrestling.
What kind of
And that's what we talk about on this podcast.
Oh, yeah, we do talk
all
about
kinds of wrestling.
Yeah, we talk about that.
Remember that one? That one thing.
So we were just talking about the effects of this craziness going on. And again, you are listening to the Eric's Squared Circle podcast. It's called that because there's two Erics, and we talk about what happens in the squared circle. And we did
see what he did there.
We did have that name come from an outside source. I won't say who it is now.
Oh, yeah.
I won't say who it is now because I'm hoping that he'll listen or they'll listen. It's not a he. I mean, it might be.
Do they not listen already? Because if they don't, then I kind of have a problem with that.
No, they do. They listen.
Okay.
I don't know how consistently. I know that.
Well, to those that help name this show, at least be a little bit more consistent, huh?
Hey, they're consistent.
What?
Well, they're pretty good. We want the attention from fans, be it good or maybe critical. But yeah, I will reveal who gave that to us. Who gave me the
much like they revealed.
Say again.
Go ahead. Much like they revealed the Exalted one.
Next time on the Eric Squared Circle podcast. Go ahead. Sorry again.
You mean like when they revealed the Exalted one this week? That kind of reveal?
They revealed the Exalted one, who is in fact Mr. Brody Lee.
Brody Lee.
Who is formerly known as Luke Harper from the WWE. His contract ran out early in the year. Correct.
No animatronic spiders for this guy.
None.
Like at all.
No mask either for the Exalted one.
But we'll come back to that in a second. As a whole, we want to take this episode and bring a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of levity in these crazy times that we're in right now. So, again, for everybody that's out there, if there's any way that you can lend a hand to anybody in your community, in your area, please do so. We want to see people, being at their absolute best in times like these. And, we know that people are capable of being the good that they wish to see in the world. So on that note, I'm going to come off of my soapbox and we're going to get back to wrestling again. Lot of happenings this week, a lot of changes, with the move from Raymond James Stadium to the Performance Center as far as WrestleMania goes. It's now a 2-night event going to be filmed in front of no audience, and it is looking like it is likely going to be pre-taped. I mean, so WrestleMania is making a lot of history this year. And at least one thing they can definitely say is they'll get that attendance record that they want every single year. It's just that it's going to be 0 this year.
Big old goose egg.
Unfortunately. But yeah, that's kind of the big story this week is WrestleMania is still planning to take place, but they are
Streamers, though.
concerned about what's that?
There's 2 potential records they could break. Obviously, in total population with a big old goose egg. How many streamers do you think they will receive? They don't ever really talk about that because they have the people in the stadium that they're obviously focusing on. But this year, 21, 22, 23 million people are tuning in for WrestleMania right now. Tune in. Bump it up. I don't even know if it gets to be that much, obviously, but it's just
it's definitely
so different since you can't be there. It's all virtual, if you will. And wrestling's very face-to-face, very emotional. So it's different. It's a different dynamic.
It definitely is, and this is going to continue to divide the internet. But as far as if we're going to get this, as an entertainment product, if this is something that they feel that they're going to make the decision to go ahead and press forward with, it is what it is. I mean, it definitely does not feel like a normal WrestleMania. This will be these are definitely going to be times where, with everybody quarantined and really having a lot of time to watch, streaming content. I do wonder how they're going to adapt to that audience, knowing that it's going to be an entirely television audience. And, I would hope that they're going to take this opportunity to explore some different things as far as production value and show quality and show content that, we could see, used again in the future. But just given the uncertainty and just the sheer calamity of what's going on in the world right now, it is nice to, have this escape and know that there's something over a couple of nights that, we can take our mind off of everything that's going on. So I got to say kudos to them for that. But at the same time, this is the Super Bowl of wrestling, and this is something that they're going to do in front of an audience, a live audience of 0, and a lot of it pre-taped, and that's just not something that we've seen or heard or experienced before. So it's definitely a shock to the system. But if there's one thing that WWE is good at, it's taking situations like these and turning them into something that will leave people talking. And I want to be as optimistic as possible, just because we really don't have any other choice but to be. Especially with now we've got ESPN playing WrestleManias over the next few Sundays, just going old school and finding ways to fill their content lineup. I'm hoping that this will lead to a renewed push for people interested in the WWE network, and who knows? This is a good way to showcase that, especially when we've heard talk of Vince wanting to sell pay-per-view rights to an outlet like ESPN Plus and kind of rethinking the network. But the network is what's going to be their saving grace right now, because quite frankly, if we didn't have WWE network, who's paying to see WrestleMania without a live audience? Is that something you'd pay for if it was more than $10 a month?
No.
Exactly. And, if it wasn't for them having this format and this platform and their ability to continue with shows like this, who knows where we'd be, as far as WrestleMania goes. But if they're gonna forge ahead with it, it's gonna be really intriguing to see how they fill this lineup. We already know that there are 2 matches that are going to be cut. Both the men's and women's battle royal matches have been axed, just given the concerns about social distancing. And, the last thing you want is to put, 60 people's health at risk by having them all in the same ring at the same time. So, we know that those 2 matches have been cut. Can't help but wonder what they're going to do as far as, tag team championships, as far as men's and women's, but I need to take a breath. So tell me what you think about all this.
Yeah, social distancing. You don't see anything in the crowds. You don't get the chance. You don't get the emotion. But that's how they all started out, wrestling in front of just their peers or just like a couple coaches, showing what they can do. So
True.
It goes back to their roots of what they're doing in the Performance Center compared to what AEW guys are doing at Daly's Place. So I would love to see that, kind of that mantra, maybe kind of go into that aura, that atmosphere of like going back to your root of training and getting better. You're just this just uses this as an opportunity to get better within the ring when this whole thing blows over, which it will. And seeing that the matches, considering everything that's been taken away as sports fans so far in the month of March, I think I can handle with a couple matches being canceled. And, with Lesnar potentially not being able to wrestle, you think that they may just push that back potentially to WrestleMania, getting his Royal Rumble opportunity, Drew McIntyre, against, like, at least getting a championship match and do something different for the actual recording of WrestleMania. And allowing, those battle royals, that is a ton of people all together at once, and they're saying less than 10. So that's why you could see, like, the matches, again, the singles matches, and potentially even probably, I'd say, the tag team matches. But you'll see in the tag team matches, I think we'll see limited dual team interaction, when they both, like, attack each other at the same time.
Yeah.
So that may be limited, but it'll still happen, I think. But yeah, it's incredible. I hope, like, it allows people to appreciate the simple things in life, just being able to go to a bar, just going to watch a show with a friend. Very simple things that pretty much anybody in this world, in this country can do, and we're not even able to do that because we have to be protective. And us as wrestling fans, I love getting to know, meeting new wrestling fans and people in the industry. Like, if all this had happened 3 weeks ago or a month ago when we met Chris Van Vliet, like, we never would have gotten to meet him. Luckily, that all happened before it. But it's super influential. It's super impactful. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, no kidding. And I'm definitely glad you brought up Lesnar as far as him possibly not being able to make it back across the borders now that non-essential travel is being locked down.
He's in Canada. He's a Canuck.
He is. And now it's just, what do we do if we can't, if we can't get the Royal Rumble storyline finish at WrestleMania? I mean, I'm not sure that they have another, few months of storytelling that they can get out of this under these current conditions, and I think that that's a lot of why they're trying to pre-tape WrestleMania, is because we really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
McIntyre go to Canada,
as far as
they just wrestle in a performance center in Canada and tape it a part of the show, because they did that at WrestleMania 1. It was taped in 2 different buildings.
But again, he can't go travel to Canada.
He's not
if
Canadian?
Brock can't, well, Drew's Scottish, first of all, but that's the thing, is you can't. That's border travel as a whole in North America is being restricted. So non-essential
Let's
travel.
Have him do it on the wall. There's a wall in Canada between Canada and America, right? Just have him wrestle on that wall. Kick some ass, drop some claymores.
There's
drop
not
some
like
F5s on the wall or the fence.
There's
or at the border security
wall.
office. They'll do it like at the border security office. You feel me?
Just a little. You thought, okay, it's actually okay. Anyway, so yeah,
write it down.
At this
Vince,
point,
I'm telling you.
Hey, he's crazy enough. I mean, it's bonkers, man. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen. Mania is just the biggest show of the year is right around the corner. We already, it's the build has already been slow as it is, and now, with everything going on in the world, to see this as a show with absolutely no audience, I mean, while it's a bold move, Cotton, bold move is
Let's
all
see if
that
it
I
works
can say.
out for him. Yeah, let's see if it works out for him. I think it's not doing too bad for AEW. I think everybody's expectations of it all have to go down a bit. Just expect good wrestling and some good promos. Crowd interaction is always a huge part of it, but can't let people get sick.
That's what I really liked about AEW this week, though, was that, they didn't necessarily have a live audience, but they at least had the AEW talent kind of scattered throughout Daly's place. And that way you're at least kind of getting cheers and jeers, and you could, it was an opportunity for all the workers to get some shine and to kind of be organic and do their own thing at ringside and kind of lend that additional layer to the show that they don't normally get to add, at least not something that we get to see on TV anyway, as far as that locker room camaraderie. But I mean, there were quite a few standouts as far as, last Wednesday's AEW episode. I mean, MJF and Sean Spears were absolutely killer. For them to just be taking bets and placing money on everything that was going on in the ring and really playing off each other with Tully in the background and Wardlow being kind of the heavy. I mean, I don't know. I think that there's some promise there between the two of those guys, as far as, either a tag team or building a larger stable around them, under the tutelage of Tully Blanchard. That's just me. But, getting to see him, and then Sonny Kiss, Joey Janela, SCU was in the crowd as well. I liked that element. As far as having at least a few people around the ring to have some reaction to play off of, like you said. I mean, all wrestlers start wrestling in front of crowds this size, so it is definitely a throwback and a just kind of going back to the basics kind of thing. But what do you think of AEW this week and what they did as far as their empty arena show?
I think they were still able to build, create feuds, build storylines with not being able to empower the crowd and interact with them. Because they've have such a strong online presence already, I feel like they can kind of quantitate how things, like, I know that Ric Flair would always say, like, he's doing different things, seeing how the crowd reacts, and does something different all the time. If they don't react the way he wants to, he never does it. If they do, then he keeps doing it, keeps building off of it. So it's hard to do that when you don't have a actual crowd there to do that. So you kind of have to do it off of online presence, and obviously, like, how people react after the fact, after the show. I think it went relatively well with the matches that were there, and obviously broken Matt Hardy reappearing after all 3 years, leaving Ring of Honor and having that final match with the Young Bucks in Orlando. So I'm overall pretty pleased with what it could have been and what it was, considering the obvious.
Yeah, I mean, with everybody kind of being in, in uncharted territory.
Oh my God, we're gonna die. We're all gonna die. Did you just sneeze? Did you sneeze?
I didn't sneeze.
You coughed.
I did cough. I did cough.
Gotta watch you. Gotta watch you, guy. We gotta watch you. Just kidding. Just kidding, everybody. You just coughed a little.
Right. It's so weird because now, like, I feel like people are scared to cough or sneeze or do anything for this exact reason that everybody's just gonna put the world on stop and single them out.
Everybody's gonna have that face. Everybody's gonna have that face when they can't sneeze and they hold it in, and sometimes it's a really bad sneeze. Your eyes water up, and it's like that.
Right.
And everyone's like, I don't want to sneeze on somebody. So I heard somebody on the radio. It's like, that's like shooting off bullets now. It's like shooting off bullets. Sneezing? Better watch yourself, man. You get an assault charge. Watch yourself. Okay. Watch yourself.
But anyway, before I decided to cough, also that, so we were talking about AEW and, Broken Matt's debut. So as a whole, this episode, the fact that we did have these two major debuts, Brody Lee, Matt Hardy, I thought that, and feel free to give me your 2 cents on this, but I thought that the empty arena worked for Matt's debut at the very end, just because it was kind of suspenseful, and with the drone, it was just kind of like I didn't necessarily put that piece of it together right away, but I think that Brody Lee's debut would have been more impactful with a crowd. I mean, this was supposed to be in Rochester, where he's from, so they were definitely banking on having that crowd reaction to his debut. I think, like I said, worked perfectly for Matt Hardy and for kind of inserting himself into Blood and Guts, and we'll come back to that in a little bit for sure. But Brody Lee, I think, definitely would have benefited from having that crowd reaction when he shows up as the Exalted One, just because there was kind of that suspense and that mystery, and that's kind of one of those things that was a payoff to all of the hype and all of the teasing, as opposed to Matt, who just was like, surprise, I'm here,
Right. No, yeah, and he does so many of his videos back when he was broken before, and he's always alone in the middle of nowhere. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and it is tantalizing. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, him in an open arena, just like coming out of thin air to help the young bucks, the Bucks of Youth. It's perfect. It's perfect for him.
There you go.
The Bucks of Youth.
It really is, and we'll be at this point tentatively replacing Nick Jackson, in the Blood and Guts match, Inner Circle versus Elite. That was supposed to be 3 days from us recording this episode right now, and now it's not. Tony Khan has announced that this match will be postponed indefinitely, and I think that this is a good call on his part. This type of match is one that you need the crowd to react to what's going on in the ring. Not saying that they couldn't pull off a Blood and Guts Games of War style match, but or at least without a crowd anyway. But this is one of those ones where this is kind of the first foray into some real carnage and into a real gimmicky match, and I think that that's for the best to decide to wait until people can attend.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great, and I'm very excited.
Great.
It'll be great. Great. Okay, I'll stop saying great. Yeah, I'll stop that now. But yeah, it's hard to know like where it's gonna go into the next couple in this coming week, because this is not the go home week, but we're 2 weeks away from what WrestleMania would have been, and Blood and Guts not happening now. We're back. We're really in limbo in terms of the wrestling community.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, with WWE switching to taping at least the next couple of weeks of shows in advance, and then AEW, something that got pointed out by a lot of people, and I noticed it too, was when they were hyping not only Blood and Guts but the parking lot brawl match between Lucha Brothers and Best Friends, that instead of saying next week, they would say next Dynamite. And AEW is also taking precautions because they don't know. I mean, nobody knows kind of what's going to be happening day by day as far as what's allowed to take place and what isn't. So they're all kind of covering their bases of AEW kind of putting a pause of sorts on their storytelling. WWE kind of taking the opposite approach and going full steam ahead and just trying to get whatever it is they can in the can, in case something happens where they say, no, we can't even let you guys do this here. So it's odd, bud. It's odd.
It's a conundrum. And again, we're still here at the Eric Squared Circle podcast because we can come to you through technology means of technology. Talk about stuff that we like to talk about, whether or not you like to hear us talk about it. But if you do, just tell us. Just tell us if you like to hear.
There's at least 6 of you out there that enjoy listening to what it is.
I love it.
Say,
I
so
like.
thank
That's
you.
a good number, and we can bump that up.
Let's get to 7.
Let's bump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
But on a serious note, though, we've got over 200 likes on Facebook right now, and we are trying to get to 500. So if you like what it is that we're doing right now, like, share, subscribe, comment, leave reviews. We want to hear from you guys, especially right now. We've all got a lot of free time on our hands. I, for one, have really been enjoying WWE Network and taking a deep dive into some of the more hidden gems, the deep cuts of wrestling right now. Not only WWE Network but IWTV Live. So if you've got matches that you think people want to check out or you think that we'd be interested in, comment on our Facebook page, shout us out on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, you name it, we're on it. We want to hear from you, and right now, we got to rally around each other. Let's try to entertain each other, and wrestling is something that does a pretty good job of being a sense of comfort, especially in times like these. So if you've got some links you want people to check out, whether it's your work or somebody or even if it's merch links, anything right now, every bit's helping everybody. So we want to hear from you. ericsquaredcircle@gmail.com. And so where do we go from here, bud?
We've spoken on WrestleMania, 2-night, multiple night event. Have we
hosted by Rob Gronkowski, by the way?
Yes. I was going to mention that, which is interesting. Should be funny. Some people love him, some people not so much. But he is a character, and I think he is entertaining. That's why he was so good at football, not just with the fact that he was so good at football, but he was very entertaining, very controversial at times, and that's great for the WWE. Controversy and entertainment, memorable moments. I think Gronkowski is full of those potentially. But everybody...
He's mainstream AF, bruh.
Mainstream AF. What are you? God, you're such a millennial.
And you're not?
I'm definitely a millennial, but I'm like...
Yeah,
I'm one of the good ones.
And I'm a bad one?
I wouldn't say you're bad.
What is that? What is that? Okay, but you're saying you're a good one. That's really the only other...
I'm the best one.
...inference that can be made. Really, the best one? Okay, whatever.
Just kidding. God, take it easy, buddy.
Well, sorry, I've been cooped up in this fucking house for 4 days, so...
We're going to have to reprimand this guy for this. Sorry, everybody, about that. We're just a little...
I'm the executive producer. I can edit that out.
We're gonna move forward. Again, yes, WrestleMania... This is the biggest show my second favorite show, at least in the WWE, of the year. And I'm glad at least we got the Royal Rumble done to do that before all this happened.
Oof. Could you imagine that in an empty arena?
Who knows if they even do it with the match, match type that it is.
True.
It's a
that's
battle
true.
royal. Even though there wasn't really more than 8 guys total in the ring at once, since Brock just kept eliminating people.
This was a different one, yes.
Still, I feel like there could have been so much better jobbers I could have gotten thrown out more entertainingly by Brock.
It was a tale of 2 rumbles, man.
Yeah, I know. But I like a full good rumble. It's just my thing.
You know what we're doing right now, though?
We're reminiscing.
Exactly, much like WWE has taken to doing during these performance center shows because they know that they can't pull off half of their stuff without a live audience.
So they put these shows that you normally would have to pay the WWE Network to watch, but you can just tune in every Monday and Friday, and they're playing old pay-per-views.
And you guys can listen to our archives to listen to how we really felt about the Royal Rumble this year. Definitely do that because let's be honest,
go back and talk.
Nobody else has anything better to do right now. So this is the time. This is the time to find your new favorite podcast, which should be us.
And I'd like to do a little. Can I promote another podcast? Is that allowed? Executive producer Eric Robinson.
It's your show. It's your show too, bud.
I know I'm being an ass. Anyways,
no, you're being cheeky.
I like to promote. Rock in the Basement. It's produced by my younger brother, Tom Ozio.
Ooh.
And it's got his friends, Jared Jones, Chris Ding, and Benjamin Waldron, all living out in D.C., just talking about Rock in the basement. They're in their buddy Jared's basement. Just, drinking beer and talking rock and roll. They like to talk about upcoming events. Thomas did his... Oh, sorry. He likes to be called Tom. I call him Thomas. I can't help it. Does his top 10 albums. So if you're into rock or just into listening to four goofballs talk about, rock and roll, and if you're into it, they're on every Sunday. So check it out. They go on Spotify mostly. You can check it out through there. Talking Rock in the Basement. Let me pull it up, make sure that I got the right Talking Rock in the Basement.
I mean, rock and wrestling do go hand in hand.
It's spelled TALK & Talking Rock in the Basement. I was listening to the most recent one recently. They're silly. They're funny. Check them out. That's my little brother and his goofy friends. So he does like and subscribe to our podcast here. He's not big in wrestling, but he likes hearing what we have to think about it. He loves hearing how passionate we are about the wrestling business, how wrestling. See, rock and roll, he's taking a huge hit too because they were talking about big time shows they love to go to, but they can't do anything. This is like prime time concert time. Between now and like the end of the summer, it's like it's time to go to some concerts, and they get a ton of them coming out there in DC, obviously.
All right.
Just like we get wrestling shows
right now.
Yeah, I'd love to. So check them out. Check them out. That's another thing you can listen to while you're stuck in your house until this is all blown over. If you're working at home like myself, you can just put it on literally while you're working.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Eric Squared Circle Show. If you liked what you heard, take a quick second to leave us a review, and if it's a 5-star, we'll read it on the air. We really want to hear from you guys, so if you have a question, trivia, interview ideas, or any other suggestions, we want to hear them. Shoot us an email at ericsquaredcircle@gmail.com. And don't forget, you guys are the reason that we do this show. It's the ultimate show by Smarks for Smarks, so what's not to love? Let's keep the discussion going on Twitter using the hashtag E2SC and join our server on Discord. Last but not least, subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you turn on notifications because you'd be crazy to miss anything it is that we're doing right now.
But yeah, I'm calling this the Stir Crazy episode. Working at home.
Yep.
Today is currently Sunday, March 22nd of 2020. It's a sunny day.
I'm glad at least one of us knew the exact date.
Yeah.
Because I didn't.
I did, yes. It comes up on my computer, so I can read it right there on my monitor. But yeah, I just I miss being able to come down and be seen by everybody at the brewery. I miss it, buddy.
Yeah.
I miss it, and I miss you. I miss you. But yeah, I mean, what else do you have for us? And I know that honestly, for anybody that's checking out, I'm wanting to. At the first part, just check out our page and just go from there. And then if we can hook you on to listening, that'd be great. Who knows how much longer we're going to be stuck in our homes, for things. We go out for the essential stuff, and then we come back, and we're here.
Yeah, this is true.
Let's we'll be back soon. I mean, real soon.
Yeah, I mean,
our
we're
next goal
really
is to
not
be on
going
Facebook
anywhere.
Live. We're going to try and be on Facebook Live next time. We were having slight technical difficulties. My technical difficulties mostly. Pretty much all my technical difficulties.
Oh, your technical
oh my
difficulties.
gosh! Oh my gosh! All right, leave me alone.
I'm just
I think
saying.
we're bothering them at this point.
Are we really? No, they
Maybe.
love us. Sort of.
Maybe a little. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. Really, you're not.
I accept all forms of comments, as long as they're
Just be nice. Don't be
not
dicks.
pawn shots. I've heard pretty much every name in the book at this point.
It doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, but they're just words. Words can't hurt me. Your words can't hurt me, baby. It is nice. I have my little office now to do all this stuff in because I want to come to you all live. Well, on Facebook Live. We're not live now, but live eventually. Talking about wrestling.
The thing is, we don't, and the thing is that we don't both need to be on Facebook Live just to go live. We can both just do it sometimes because we feel like it,
Yes, we can do that.
We
like
can
to talk
do
about
that.
stuff because we're stuck in here. Stuck in here. I like to get out. I'm naturally an extrovert. Like just I think
Yeah.
my brother Thomas and I are just like that. Adam, he's a whole other story. But we like to get out, do stuff, be responsible, but have fun.
Right. Like, it's starting to warm up. You're thinking, hey, it'd be awesome to go.
They're not
Get
stopping me
food.
from running
Go-
outside. They're not
yeah.
stopping me from doing all that stuff. I want to.
No,
What do
you
you
can
think?
you can definitely do all of that,
But
but think about think about how for granted we took just being able to get up and go down to 3 points to talk wrestling for the dozens and dozens of our fans.
I love them all. Every single one of them.
Every single one of you.
Every single one. Except I might love Thomas a little
We
bit
do
more.
this
And Eric.
I mean, I get that.
You and I are fans, so I love you and Thomas the most.
Aw. Thank you.
We're fans of our own show, right?
I know I am. I've listened to every single episode.
Righteous.
Every single episode. Interviews and all.
What'd you?
Said interviews and all.
Righteous.
Yeah. So, again, during this quarantine period, definitely check out the Eric Squared Circle Show archives. Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is that you get your content. We're in some weird times right now, but we're gonna get through it together.
What's your favorite AEW match so far of this crazy year, this crazy 3 months? Not even
this year? I mean, it almost if we're so it's a toss up, but they were both on the same pay-per-view. But for entirely different reasons. Bucks versus Kenny and Paige.
incredible spot match, according to our guest and friend of the show, Ryan the Rage Freeman. Spot.
Yeah,
fest.
well, I disagree, but for it was as far as the actual wrestling, that match, and then kind of the 1B to that is Pac and Orange Cassidy. Simply because I was so blown away by that match and what it is that Orange pulled off, working a guy like Pac with his hands in his pockets. I mean, he found a way. You kind of worry about, people whose gimmicks are so much of their in-ring work as well, and kind of what it is they're going to do together. But they really had great chemistry, and I'm excited to see what more we see from Best Friends and Orange Cassidy, as far as going up against Death Triangle, Lucha Brothers and Pac. I mean, Orange Cassidy's just a special dude, and I mean, sky's the limit for him in AEW, and that's something I really like about what they're doing right now, is that the guys that they're getting over right now, any one of them could win the world title tomorrow, and not only are you going to pop at them winning the world title, but it's believable that they'd be world champion in that promotion, and I love that they're giving that credibility to their guys.
And I know we're talking a lot about social distancing, which is a complete opposite variable you want in terms of a wrestling community, wrestling shows itself. But hey, I pulled up an article here by Mr. Steve Cook of the E-Wrestler talking about which wrestlers would be the best or are the best social distancers. And I wanted you to give me a guess of one of these wrestlers, superstars, on this list and see if you can get one.
Orange Cassidy.
No, Orange Cassidy is not one of the wrestlers. These are all pretty much.
Can you blame me for trying though?
No. But one of them, there's only one AEW guy on here.
Social distancers. Are they all WWE?
Most of them,
with the exception of Is Rowan on that list?
No.
Okay.
Nay.
Like, are these okay?
That's not AEW. He's still a WWE homeboy.
I know, but okay. So you want me to guess the AEW one first?
I figured that would be easiest. And he's current. He's active.
Okay.
And it's a guy, obviously.
Well, you keep saying he, so sure.
Well, I just wanted to make sure you heard.
Okay. Thanks,
and
dear.
Again, this is all very subjective. It's just a fun little ranking thing that Mr. Cook put out on his.
I know, but I'm just.
On their page.
Okay, so social distancers.
You can't be looking
MJF.
it up either. You can't cheat.
I'm not. You're looking right at me.
Well, you're looking at me. I'm
Yeah.
looking at articles right now, so I'm not looking directly at you. And I don't look at your
Okay.
screen. I can't see your screen. We're in separate buildings altogether, people. Separate cities.
Yeah, I mean, we are really social distancing, but I'm going to say MJF.
No, they say, this guy says Christopher Daniels. In the code of honor, they
Really?
thought that all of their professionals would shake hands at the match. Christopher Daniels refused to shake hands with several people with the low-key American Dragon after their match. That's what they think. Dude should have kept his hands to himself. He doesn't like people touching him.
Okay, so who else is on this list?
So a lot of them are Hall of Famers, been out. Got J.J. Dillon, Jerry the Jet, and Jerry Lawler.
I can see Jerry Lawler.
The anonymous Raw general manager, who we never knew.
No, we know who that is.
Oh, yeah. It was Hornswoggle.
There you go.
Sending all those emails. But, yeah, at the same time, Gorgeous George and the number one.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Yeah.
That's really such a good one.
The number one is.
Oh, I wonder if.
Would you want to guess number one at least? Who they have, which is the mainstay. It was like the opening of the article. Opening picture. He's a Hall of Famer. He's pretty big guy. Pretty big superstar.
Austin, don't trust anybody.
No, not Stone Cold.
Oh, I don't know.
Stinger. The Stinger.
Okay, all right. I guess.
Stinger.
That is a super eclectic and super subjective list.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever.
Very much so.
Whatever, man. Whatever. Just trying to fill your life with some stuff and some other stuff.
And that's what I appreciate about these Ozios.
That's my name. Don't you ever. I don't think you can wear it out. No one's worn it out. It's just such a fun name. Ozio.
Right? Yeah.
Ozio.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, man. I've just been living life here in the new place, playing lots of video games, watching some wrestling.
Yeah.
Doing some other stuff. But yeah, again, we are the Eric Square Circle podcast. We're just killing time in this here quarantine that we're in. Self-quarantines as of right now. We'll see if we get an actual lockdown. Forced quarantine, if you will.
Yep.
But do you have anything else?
Not.
Do you have anything else you'd like to mention, Mr. Robinson?
No. Everybody hang in there. Let's rally around wrestling. Let's build a community. If you got some matches you want people to check out, post them on our website. Everybody could use some stuff to watch and be entertained right now. So
absolutely,
we're all in this together.
Give us some ideas for what you think should be some great matches to go back and watch. I will say, me and my good buddy went and saw this match, Money in the Bank 2015 in Columbus, Owens versus Cena.
Oh, yeah.
Classic Cena match. Go check it out.
Definitely do. I just got done watching the first one of the first encounters between Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell 2002 for the WWE Championship. Absolute classic. So is their biker chain match at No Mercy 2003, just before we see the American Badass transition back into being the dead man. Also, for those that do want to watch it, the first episode of the new season of Dark Side of the Ring is out on YouTube right now. A few days early. This is the part 1 of the Chris Benoit story, and I gotta tell you, get your tissues ready, everybody. It was absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for part 2.
Yeah, another thing to keep the wheels turning. I mean, we can't go anywhere, people. So let's keep our minds busy. Find random stuff on YouTube about wrestling. Find random YouTube stuff about anything.
That's all we do.
Check it out. I watch a lot of...
Please do.
You guys can't see my sweet Bengals stuff right here behind me like Eric can. But you check stuff on your favorite teams. Because we don't know what sports are going to be.
We've got free agency right now. That's about it.
We don't know what sports we're going to get this year. God bless. Nope. Hopefully America gives us football still. But who knows? I think I'm spent out on today, my friend, but I want to be on here very soon talking to you Because, my commute to work is,
The worst.
oh, dude, it's terrible. I have to walk about 15 steps
Awful.
from my bed into my office. But I have to stop in the bathroom usually, and then I have to stop and drink some coffee. So I have to take an extra, 10 steps into the kitchen.
Yep.
And then I walk into the office. Sometimes I have to switch chairs, so that's, the hardest part. And then turning everything on. God, dude, it sucks. It's the worst. I will say that being quarantined, being work up home, that is a new experience, and I don't hate it because, I don't have to waste gas, and I don't have to deal with wonderful other drivers on the road. You know how great they are, right, Eric?
They're the best.
They are so great. But yeah, I love coming on here, talk to my good friend Eric Robinson about wrestling. I wish we had a little more to talk to about in terms of upcoming events and big matches that are happening, but we haven't, really since Revolution and, the shows after that, we haven't gotten big matches, and WWE's been able to build up, to a point, but it has ceased. But we are still here, and we want to come every single week, maybe multiple times a week, to talk to you, the few.
Yeah, maybe we'll start doing some live watch-alongs or something, or try to find some way to do some other cool stuff to get stuff out there. I mean, it's a team effort right now, and things definitely aren't great, but we just want to do our part to entertain you. So for Eric Ozio, I'm Eric Robinson. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Eric Squared Circle podcast, and we'll be talking to y'all soon.
Very.
And cut. That is some good stuff right there, buddy.
Should I stop it? Should I stop the recording?
Yep. We can go ahead and